would like for us to start by activating the meridians in our hands. So just sit in a comfortable seated position. If you're in a chair, that's absolutely fine. If you want to be cross-legged in easy pose, that is also absolutely fine. If your knees aren't feeling easy pose and you'd like to be in rock pose and kneeling, that's also good. Just find a place where you are comfortable and you can sit for a few minutes. If you find that you're sitting in easy pose and your knees are higher than your hips, you can fold up your blanket or pillow and put it underneath your glutes and shift yourself forward a little bit. Tilting down on your knees might feel good for you. But back to the hands. So please rub your palms together and create some energy. Create some heat between your palms. Make sure you also get your thumbs involved in this activation here. Once your hands start to feel nice and warm, I invite you to take one hand to your belly button and one hand to your chest. Shoulders down out of your ears. Let gravity pull your elbows towards the earth. Tuck your chin just slightly so the back of your neck is long. And breathe. There's no instruction here for your breath. Inhale and exhale, both through your nose. You can inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Just focus your attention to your breath. If you feel comfortable in your space, you can close your eyes. Settle in. Let me talk to you a little bit about the body's meridians. So the body's meridians are energy lines. If you've ever done acupressure or acupuncture, those are the energy lines that your traditional Chinese medicine doctor are using to help channel your energy. The meridians have physical effects and they also have psychological effects. So for this season of fall, the yin meridian is the lung meridian. When we have our hands on our chest here, we're physically reminding ourselves to pay attention to our lungs. And the yang meridian for this season of fall is your large intestines. So with our hands on our bellies here, we're encouraging ourselves to pay attention and send love to our large intestines. Breathe. Physically, both the lungs and the large intestines are responsible for taking in energies, filtering what we don't need, and eliminating all the rest. And so that's why I themed this session, Let Go with Ebony. We're taking in what we don't need, whether that's air, whether it's food, whether it's water, right? And eliminating things that we don't need. Those things that we don't need might include negative emotions, sadness, and grief. So if something comes up for you in this session, just let it come up. Sit with it, and then let it pass. As you inhale and exhale, now also, for the lung meridian, yes, we're focusing on our lungs today. We'll be opening up our chest. The lung meridian starts down by your belly button, comes up through the stomach, comes under the clavicle, right, down the shoulder, down the right side of the arm to your thumb. The intestines, large intestines meridian, starts in your index finger, also comes up the arm, but behind the shoulders before it loops around and comes down into your large intestines. There's also a branch that comes up through your neck and your jaw. So while we're here, let's also take a moment to work the jaw a little bit. Just move it from side to side, big circles. One direction and the other. And if you want a little bit more activation for your shoulders, you can bring your fists together to touch behind you, or bring your prayer hands together behind you and press your prayer hands into your back to start to activate the lung meridian. Or you can stay where you are with one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Continue to breathe. In Yin Yoga, we say we use the body to get into the mind. So there's no instructions for your meditation today. We're just going to be still. We'll put the body in different poses. We'll find our edge, which is the first place where we feel something. Then we'll hold for time. So Yin Yoga happens on hold muscles. So we won't be doing a lot of warming up today. Hold muscles anywhere between 1 minute and 20 minutes. We won't be doing anything as long as 20 minutes today. And then you commit to stillness. So whatever it is your brain wants to do, you just kind of let it do. Right? Your thoughts go from one place to the other, you just kind of let them go. I'll talk to you a lot in the beginning, but by the time we get to the longer holds at the end, I'll give you lots of quiet time and space for yourself. So if you did the long activation, your easy pose, slowly release your wrists, rotate your wrists, open and close your fingers, and then meet me in tabletop. So your hips will be over your knees in tabletop, and our first pose will be melting heart pose. So the hips stay over the knees, and you walk your hands forward. The idea is to lower our chest towards the earth. The chest does not have to touch the earth. Maybe you can get your forehead down. Maybe you can get your nose down. Maybe you can get your chin down. But we want to find your first edge. Remember, the first edge is where you feel something. So I feel something right here. So I'm going to stay right here and breathe and hold for time. For some of you, if this is too much on the long meridian and opening your shoulders, you can lower your elbows down to the earth. If you have a pillow or blanket, you can fold it up underneath your chest. If lowering your elbows is too much, then you can always come down on your belly and come to Sphinx pose, if that feels better. We'll return to Sphinx pose later in the practice. But in this melting heart pose, we're activating the long meridian. Press down into your knuckles. Remember, the thumb and index finger are important today. So you can pull your thumbs away from your fingers, pull your index fingers away from your fingers, and then you might feel a stronger activation in your shoulders. Continue to breathe. Your feet can be tucked, toes can be tucked, or the tops of the feet flat to the mat, whatever feels good for your body. If you're ready for another edge, perhaps you can bring your forehead down. Perhaps you can come to your nose or chin down. Listen to your body, not to your ego. Breathe. Slowly come out of this pose. Walk your hands closer to your knees so that you're back in tabletop. And then take a moment here to give your body what it needs. Maybe you want to shift your hips from side to side. Maybe you want to take a few cat-cows here. Maybe you want to sit back on your heels and shake out your arms or rotate your wrists. Yogi's choice, do what feels good in our transition. And then when you're ready, meet me back in tabletop. Again, toes can be tucked, or the tops of the feet can be flat to the earth. We'll start by inhaling our left arm up to the sky. Again, open and close those fists to activate the meridians in the thumb and the index finger. And then thread the needle. Bring the left arm underneath the body. Shoulder, ear, face comes to the mat. And breathe. So again, working into that long meridian. You can bring your right arm. You can reach it forward if you want a little bit more under your arm in the long meridian. But we're also tapping into the large intestines meridian by getting across the upper back and shoulders with the left arm underneath us. Remember, if you're feeling it, you're doing it. If the twist is too much, then just come out a little bit. If this position doesn't work for you, you can always come to easy pose. Stretch that arm across the chest. Same activations. Find what works for you. And if you're not at your edge and you want a little bit more, you can extend that right leg back. That feels good to you. Remember to breathe. Another minute here. Welcome to everyone who's just joining us. We are in thread the needle. Left arm underneath us. And slowly, if you extended your arm or your leg, bring them back to center. Press your right hand into the earth. Bring that left hand to the earth. And again, give your body whatever it needs here. Maybe your hips shift from side to side. Maybe you want another cat-cow. And then meet me on your belly. Come down to your belly. And again, stretch your left arm. Shoulder height. Left arm comes straight out. Turn around so you can see my left arm. Left arm comes straight out. Right hand comes next to your chest as you roll yourself over on that left shoulder. So maybe your ankles stack, and that's comfortable for you. Maybe you want to bring that top leg behind you close to your glutes. Lower your head to the earth if you can. And again, you should feel that activation in the long meridian in front of your shoulder. Maybe you also feel the large intestines at the back of your shoulder. Breathe. This is outstretched wing. This can be a little intense, so we won't spend too much time here. If you brought your top leg behind you, bring those ankles to touch and then slowly roll back over on your belly. Notice the rebound or the echo effect of that pose. And then when you're ready, meet me back in tabletop. And take the same thing on the other side. So first, we thread the needle with a child's pose twist. Hips are over your knees. Right hand comes up to the sky. Rotate the wrist a little bit. Open and close those palms to activate the meridians in your fingers. And then when you're ready, thread the needle. Right shoulder comes to the earth. Right ear, right cheek. Breathe. And again, if this is too much, you can always sit easy pose and just stretch the arm across the chest. If you want more long meridian activation in the left arm, extend it forward. Remember, if you're feeling it, you're doing it, but we don't want pain. So anything that is sharp, electrical, pulsating, all that, come out as quickly as possible. But if you've got that dull, achy feeling, that's the yin feeling. The difference between yin and a restorative yoga class is that a restorative class, you don't necessarily have to feel any activations. You can use props to get comfortable in the pose. But in yin, you want to be feeling something. So if you need another edge, you can take that left leg and extend it back. Again, listen to your body. The science of Yin Yoga is that it bypasses the muscles, which is why we don't do a lot of warming up, to get into the connective tissues of the body, the joints, the ligaments, the fascia, the stuff that we don't normally stretch or activate. Breathe. Notice what you're feeling without judgment. If you extend it, bring your left knee back to the earth, bring your left hand in front of your face. Slowly unthread your needle, come back to tabletop. Pause for a moment and feel the rebound in your shoulders and your chest. And then give your body what it needs. Maybe your hips want to shift from side to side, maybe like that now. And you know where we're going, back to our bellies for outstretched swing, right arm this time. So when you're ready, lower yourself down. Stretch that right arm out, shoulder height. Left hand comes in front of the face. Roll back onto that shoulder. Use your hand to support you. Only go as far as is good for your shoulder. And if you like, you can lift that top leg, bring the foot flat to the earth, next to your glutes. Head comes to the earth. Breathe. Also opening up the lung meridian in the front of the chest here. Again, we don't spend too much time here. So if you brought the left foot flat to the earth, release it, ankles touch, and then slowly roll over. Onto your belly. Release that arm, pause here, notice the rebound. Maybe just take a few seconds on the belly. Breathe. And then we'll come up to Sphinx pose. Lots of options in Sphinx pose. I like to have my shoulders over my elbows. Like that feels good to me. I like that in my low back. But maybe you want to walk your elbows a little further. It's less intense if you walk your elbows a little further up. Some of you might just stretch your hands out completely and bring your third eye to the mat. Others might want to make a pillow with your hand, right hand flat to the mat, left hand on top, third eye to your hands. For your feet in Sphinx, your ankles can touch if that feels good to you, or your feet can be as wide as the mat if that feels good. If you have a pillow or blanket, you can also use it right in front of your chest to help prop you up, or maybe even under your arms. I also like to bend my knees. I like that little extra in my low back. So you find what works for you. Maybe you're completely outstretched. Maybe your elbows are just a little further up. Maybe your elbows are under your shoulders. Maybe the ankles touch. Maybe the feet are wide. Maybe you bend your knees. Bring the heels closer to the glutes. And I also encourage you to try the Kachari Mudra. So that's the tip of your tongue to the back of the teeth as you breathe, then it out through the nose. It creates a complete loop for your yin and your yang energy. So try it, see if you like it. Tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth. Breathe. There's no other breathing pattern for you. There's no count that you need to meet. For those of you that are my kinetic yogis, there's no rule of 4 breathing this time. Just tip of the tongue to the back of the teeth so you hang out in space. If you want more activations for those thumbs and index fingers, again, you can point the thumbs towards each other so that you're making L's with your fingers, activating the meridians in your thumbs. So this pose is getting into our lung meridians by opening our chest, but also stimulating our large intestines as we lie on our bellies. Prepare to release your sphinx. So if your knees are bent, bring feet flat to the earth. If you're on your elbows, you can come down to your belly. I like to rock my hips from side to side. Maybe you bend one knee up, take a few rounds of breath. And then bring the other knee up, take a few rounds of breath. Again, do what your body's calling for in this transition. Notice how your belly feels. Notice how your chest feels. When you're ready, knee on your back. Roll over. Back of the legs, flat to the earth. We're shifting now to banana asana. So even if your short end of the mat is facing the screen, you'll be fine. I'll give clear instructions here. Walk your ankles to the left corner of your mat. So walk both ankles to the left corner of your mat. Back of the legs are flat to the earth. Ankles to the left corner of the mat. Leave your torso, your core where it is, but pick up your upper back and shoulders and walk it to the left corner of the mat so that you're in a C shape or a banana, hence the term banana asana. But maybe this is you right here. Maybe you want to rest your hands again, one on your belly and one on your chest, or one on the large intestines and one on your lungs. If you want activation for the lung meridian, reach your arms overhead and clasp opposite elbows. And you may feel that underneath your arms. And as another edge, you could try crossing your ankles. Maybe you want to cross your left ankle over the right. See how that feels for you. Or you can cross the right ankle over the left. Or not cross them at all. Right? You find your edge for your first feeling something. Breathe. If your arms are overhead, this is definitely long meridian here. Prepare to peel yourself out of your banana asana. If your arms are overhead, clasping opposite elbows, release them and bring them down by your sides. If you cross an ankle, release that too. Walk your ankles back to center, walk your shoulders back to center. You can bring your feet flat to the mat, and you can windshield wiper your feet side to side if that feels good. Or squeeze your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug and rock on your low back. If happy baby is something that you're feeling, you can rock that too. Any transition that feels good to you. If you want a little movement. And then when you're ready, the right leg comes flat to the earth. Squeeze the left knee into your chest. So interlace your hands around your left knee, squeeze it into your chest. Then take your right hand and guide the left knee across the body for a reclining twist. Now it doesn't matter if that knee touches the earth. My knee is like not even close to the earth, that's fine. If you've got a pillow or blanket, you can put it underneath the knee. To get into the lung meridian, you can extend the left arm straight out to the side, like we did before, an outstretched wing. Or you can bend that elbow at a 90-degree angle and get even more activation in the chest. So find your sweet spot there. And breathe. If you're trying the Kachari Mudra, remember it's the tip of the tongue, the back of the teeth. You can also turn your head to look away from your bent knee, so your head can look to the left while your knee is to the right. That large intestine meridian also goes up through our neck. Now feel free to stay here, or you can transition to cat pulling its tail. So with cat pulling its tail, the leg that's on top, your left leg, you'll just straighten it out. And some of you will be able to clasp your fingers around your big toe. There's no bonus if you can't do that. So straighten the leg to the best of your ability. So the left leg is across the body, it's going straight. The leg that's on the bottom, bend your knee of the leg that's on the bottom, and then try to capture that foot. So try to capture your right foot with your left hand. So you might be feeling a big activation in your quads now. Breathe here. Now, if you don't like this, just go back to the reclining twist. Maybe a lot in the front of the legs. If you want more for the lung meridian, you can also prop yourself up so that your head is in your hands. Rest on your elbow. So if possible, encapsulating its tail, we're straightening that top leg and then bending the bottom leg and capturing that bottom foot with our left hands. We breathe. And if you want more here, you can press into your hand. And it'll give you a little more activation in the front of the bottom thigh. So when you're ready, release, not pulling its tail. If you're in a reclining twist, slowly release. However you release, just do it much more slowly than you think you should. If you're groaning or sound escapes you, that means you're doing okay. It's a natural part of the yin process. Find the movement that works for you. Again, maybe it's windshield wipers. Maybe it's knees into your chest, rocking on your low back. Maybe it's a happy baby. I'm just turning here so you can see me better. We've got to do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, come to stillness again. We'll prepare for banana asana, this time on the right side. So start by walking those ankles to the right side of your mat. Torso stays rooted, but walk those upper back and shoulders. I like to use my elbows to help me get over to the right side of the mat, my upper back and shoulders. So you've got that banana or C-shaped curve. Now, if you remember the opposite way to clasp your elbows, you can clasp them the awkward way, or you can clasp them the same way. It doesn't really matter. Again, you can also have your hands on your chest if that feels better for you. And you can also cross an ankle if that works for you. Left over right or right over left. Now, last time we talked about the physical aspects of the meridians. On this side, I want to talk more about the psychological aspects. So the theme for today is let go with Ebony. So I want you to meditate on what you can let go. What are you holding on to in your life? Physically, emotionally, that you no longer need. Winter is our germination space. Seed is in the ground. It's going to blossom into something beautiful. But we have to make sure that seed is in its healthiest space. And that's what we do with fall. We shed the things that we don't need to prepare us for a germination in winter. I also invite you to just repeat the mantra, let go, to yourself. Banana asana. Breathe. Exhale, release your banana. Slowly and mindfully start with your ankles, then with your arms. Bring yourself back to center. And maybe you just want stillness. Maybe you want some motion. Again, yogi's choice. Windshield wiper, knees into the chest, happy baby. When you're ready, prepare for reclining twist. This time squeeze the right leg into the chest. Start by interlacing the hands on top of the knee. Maybe rotate your ankle a couple of times. And then take that left hand and guide the right knee across the body. Maybe it comes to the earth, maybe it doesn't. Outstretch that right arm. Maybe it stays at shoulder height. Maybe you bend it at 90 degrees for a little extra in the meridians. Maybe you turn your head to look over your outstretched arm for extra in the meridians. Twisting is another metaphor for letting go. Again, for bringing out what we no longer need, physically, emotionally. Breathe. You can stay here if you like, or transition to cat pulling its tail. Straighten that top leg. Bend the bottom leg. Capture the bottom foot with your formally outstretched arm. For extra in the meridians, you can roll over a bit, prop yourself up on your elbows. Deep breathing is sending the energy where it needs to go. The reason I like to do a seasonal ebyo is not just to mark the passage of time, but the shift in modes of being. I don't make a conscious effort to notice the shift in the seasons. I'll just keep going the way I always have. But each season invites us to think about ourselves and the cycle of life a little bit differently. So again, let's continue to meditate on what we can let go. When you're ready, slowly, again, much slower than you think you should, release your cat or release your reclining twist. Feel the echo of the pose. Back on your back, and again, take any motion that your body wants. Maybe a happy baby feels good now. And by happy baby, I mean bend your knees towards the earth. Extend your knees wider than your chest. Elbows come inside your legs. Hands come to the knife edge side of your foot, your ankles. You can also just bend your knees towards the earth and have your hands on your thighs. You can rock from side to side. You can extend one leg. You can extend the other leg. When you're ready. Back of the legs flat to the mat. Reach your arms up, big morning stretch. Point your toes, reach, reach, reach. Activate those lung meridians one last time. Open and close your palms. So we're getting into those thumbs and fingers. And then find your sweet spot for Savasana. Maybe you want your ankles to touch. Maybe you want your legs as wide as the mat. Maybe you want one hand on your belly again, one hand on your large intestines, other hand on your lungs. Maybe you want your palms down to the earth for grounding. Maybe you want your palms up for receiving. This is our final rest of meditation. Time for you again to meditate on what you would like to let go. If you feel comfortable in your space, close your eyes. There's nothing for you to do now except to be. Bring your awareness back into your body. Deepen your breath. Maybe rock your head from side to side, shift your hips from side to side. Perhaps you rotate your wrists, rotate your ankles. Maybe even open and close your fists one more time. Those thumb and index finger meridians. And when you're ready, on an inhale, squeeze your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Take small circles on your low back if that feels good. And then rock over to your left side. The left side is the yin side. And take 3 deep breaths in fetal position on your left side. When you feel like your rebirth is complete, you can push yourself back up to seated. May you have an excellent fall season, again, by letting go of all the things that you no longer need. Thank you for allowing me to lead you in a Yin Yoga practice today.